Imagine waking tomorrow to find the entire world vanished, cities deserted, technology obliterated, all great achievements erased from memory. This may sound like fiction, yet it has repeatedly unfolded throughout human history. What force could possibly obliterate entire civilizations? What lessons might these lost cultures offer for our own future? This program takes you on a journey through vanished worlds, tracing their construction, struggles and downfall. Prepare to uncover secrets sealed by time for millennia. Until today, at Göklut Peak, one of humanity's earliest monumental structures, trace back to the era when mammoths roamed the earth. As humans first established settlements in southeastern Turkey, a group of hunter-gatherers embarked upon a monumental project that would reshape our understanding of history. The Göklut PE site they constructed predates the Egyptian pyramids by several millennia. In Turkish, Göktepe means Big Belly Hill. This site challenges our understanding of early human capabilities. Colossal stone pillars arranged in a ring, some weighing 20 tons. These Team Inus-shaped monoliths stand 20 feet tall, their surfaces carved with animals and enigmatic symbols. The craftsmanship displayed far exceeds what we attribute to hunter-gatherers. The discovery of Göklut PE in the 1990s astonished experts. How could communities deemed mere hunters create such intricate structures? This site dates back over 11,000 years, predating the invention of pottery, metal tools, and even the wheel. Most intriguing is its purpose unlike later agricultural settlements. Göklut PE shows no signs of habitation, no dwellings, no hearth, no evidence of daily life. Experts hypothesize it served as a ceremonial or sacrificial site, perhaps a gathering point for dispersed tribes. Constructing Göklut PE demanded immense manpower and meticulous planning. Consider how these monoliths were cut, transported, and erected without wheels or draft animals. Such advanced organization challenges our understanding of hunter-gatherers. Göklut PE compels us to reconsider human history. Traditional views priorities agriculture as the precursor to other activities, as it supposedly created surplus food and time for constructing large scale structures. Yet Göklut PE suggests complex socio-religious life may have emerged earlier, potentially even catalyzing the development of agriculture itself. As excavations deepen, the site continually yields new discoveries, each deepening our understanding of this enigmatic place and its inhabitants. Petroglyphs depicting lions, bulls, boars, foxes, gazelles and birds offer a window into ancestral minds. Doggerland, Europe's sunken heart. Imagine a vast plain stretching from Britain to Denmark, now submerged beneath the North Sea. This was Doggerland, Europe's sunken heart, where our ancestors lived, hunted, and thrived some 18,000 years ago. As the last ice age drew to a close, Doggerland emerged like a bountiful paradise. Melting glaciers sculpted rolling hills, winding rivers, and lush forests. For millennia, this land provided hunters with abundant wildlife. Mesolithic communities fished its waters and followed the migratory patterns of the plains herds. Yet Doggerland's story remains a symphony of change and catastrophe. As global warming drove sea levels higher, the vast plain gradually shrank into islands. Some 200 years ago, catastrophe struck abruptly. A colossal submarine landslide in Norwegian waters unleashed towering waves. This disaster, compounded by rising seas, sealed Doggerland's fate. The final islands were submerged, and the North Sea permanently claimed this once thriving land. The tale of Doggerland was thus sealed in time, its former glory known only to the fish that now roam its waters. The Storgard landslide unleashed a colossal wave. This catastrophe, compounded by rising sea levels, ultimately brought Doggerland to ruin. The last islands were swallowed, the North Sea engulfing this once thriving land. For ages, Dog lands sank into oblivion, preserved only in the memories of the fish that now dwell above. Yet, in recent years, this lost world has begun to reveal its secrets. New technologies allow us to peer beneath the waves and map this sunken land. Oceanographic surveys reveal ancient topographical contours, exposing vanished rivers, hills, and valleys. These underwater expeditions have uncovered a wealth of artifacts, each narrating Dragon's story. Stone tools, bone implements, and human remains emerging from the seabed, connecting us to its former inhabitants. The 1931 discovery by Dutch fishermen of the Leiden or Minus Bank pointed tool, the carved ambler artifact, proved sensational. This 13,500-year-old artifact, likely a harpoon, stands as a Mesolithic masterpiece, demonstrating the Doglanders' extraordinary craftsmanship and overturning our assumptions about them. Studying Doggerland not only offers a glimpse into a lost world, but reveals our ancestors' ingenuity in confronting environmental upheaval as sea levels rose. Doggerland's inhabitants faced harsher times. They may have built vessels, devised new fishing gear, or migrated to higher ground. Their story reminds us of humanity's resilience against climate change, offering lessons for our own era. Doggerland also prompts us to reconsider ancient migration patterns. For millennia, it served as a vital land bridge, facilitating the free movement of people, animals, and ideas between Britain and the European continent. The land's disappearance altered the trajectories of human migration and cultural exchange, potentially explaining the origins of genetic and cultural connections within the region. Some 5,000 years ago, the Liangzhu culture emerged in China's fertile Yangtze Sea Delta, forming a great society that shaped early Chinese civilization. Flourishing between 3,300 and 2300 BC, this group mastered Neolithic techniques, leaving behind evidence of an advanced way of life. Its core settlement, Liangzhu City, displayed urban planning rivaling modern metropolises. Imagine a vast city crisscrossed by numerous canals, complete with reservoirs and high walls. This was no simple excavation, but a complex hydraulic system engineered for agriculture, flood control, and transportation. Yet the Liangzhu people were not merely hydraulic masters, they were also supreme artisans, particularly in jade craftsmanship. The exquisite pieces created by their artisans astonish experts. Among these, the Bai and Kong stand out as the most exceptional. These were not mere ornaments, but held profound spiritual significance. The Bai, a flat circular disc with a central hole, likely symbolized heaven. The Kong, a tubular vessel with a square core encasing a circular core, likely symbolized earth. A distinct hierarchical system existed within Liangzhu society. Burial excavations reveal stark social stratification. The affluent were interred in lavish tombs, accompanied by precious jade, exquisite pottery, and even human sacrifices. These graves unveil a complex society marked by rigid class divisions and elaborate religious rituals. Rice cultivation formed the bedrock of this advanced civilization. The Liangzhu people mastered rice farming, with grain driving the economy and sustaining their grand urban centers. Superior agricultural techniques generated grain surpluses, fostering specialist labor division and sophisticated jade craftsmanship. Yet like many civilizations, Liangzhu's story abruptly ended around 2300 BC. This flourishing society vanished suddenly, its prosperous city abandoned, canals silted, structures collapsed. What caused such a swift demise? Some speculate that catastrophic floods triggered by climate change were the culprit. This serves as a stark reminder even the most advanced civilizations cannot withstand the forces of nature. Today, the Liangzhu site, designated a U, an SCO World Heritage Site, bears witness to the early threads of Chinese civilization. These ruins open a window onto a pivotal period in human history, bridging the gap between prehistoric cultures and the recorded history of China. Atlantis, a legend born of ancient Greek thought, has captivated the world for millennia with its interwoven tales of fact and fiction. Plato's Atlantis, this legendary advanced civilization, remains perplexing to this day. This supposedly sunken utopia has inspired countless speculation, expeditions, and debates. Plato first mentioned Atlantis in the Timaeus and the Critias, describing it as possessing an extremely advanced culture, immense wealth, cutting-edge technology, and formidable military power. In Plato's account, Atlantis was a maritime empire ruling vast territories. Its cities marvels of engineering, circular land masses interwoven with waterways, grand palaces complemented by intricate canals. Yet the enduring appeal of the Atlantis legend may lie in its evocation of humanity's boundless fascination with ancient civilizations. That such a glorious society could have existed in antiquity only to vanish without trace. Or perhaps it stems from the cautionary tale Plato revealed Atlantis' downfall as a consequence of pride and moral decay. The rise and fall of great civilizations constantly reminds humanity of the fragility of its achievements. For millennia, the search for Atlantis has spanned the globe. Some speculate on sites in the Mediterranean. Others turn their gaze to the Caribbean or even Antarctica. These hypotheses are often supported by geographical features or archaeological discoveries. The most profound real-world connection to the Atlantis legend lies with the Minoan civilization on Crete around 1600 BC. At that time, the neighboring island of Thera, a modern minus-day Santorini, experienced catastrophic volcanic eruption that devastated the region. Some scholars suggest this catastrophe may have inspired the legend of Atlantis' downfall. The decline of the Minoan civilization, renowned for its advanced culture and maritime supremacy, following the eruption, could provide a historical foundation for the myth. However, most experts maintain Atlantis is purely mythical, noting Plato likely employed this allegory to illustrate his theories on the ideal society and moral decay. Atlantis serves as a cautionary tale rather than verifiable history, with no conclusive evidence to date. The quest for Atlantis continues to drive archaeological excavations and scholarly debate, this enduring passion reflecting humanity's boundless curiosity about lost civilizations and the blurred boundaries between myth and fact. The Atlantis narrative resonates with humanity's collective imagination, prompting the question, did other highly advanced civilizations exist in antiquity, only to vanish without trace? Consider Mohenjo-Daro and the Indus Valley civilization. Imagine a meticulously planned, ancient city boasting sophisticated drainage systems and enigmatic rituals as early as 2500 BCE. Welcome to Mohenjo-Daro, a veritable marvel whose technical prowess rivals that of the legendary Atlantis, located within modern -day Pakistan. Mohenjo-Daro once served as the heartland of the Indus Valley civilization. This ancient metropolis spanned 250 acres and housed approximately 40,000 inhabitants. Its uniqueness lay in its highly advanced and orderly layout, a grid pattern design with broad, straight streets crossing the city, an innovative concept for its time, demonstrating exceptional engineering prowess. 2 story buildings lined the streets, all constructed using standard sun-dried and fired bricks, lending the entire city a unified appearance. Among Mohenjo-Daro's most remarkable features was its sophisticated drainage system. Covered gutters ran along the streets, connecting to the dwellings. This advanced sanitation system was ahead of its time, surpassing many later civilizations. Astonishingly, the drainage system of this ancient city was superior to that found in some modern regions. At the city's heart stands a magnificent public bathhouse, a large reservoir measuring approximately 39 feet, 12 meters in length, 23 feet in width, and 8 feet in depth. This structure likely held ceremonial or religious significance, Its meticulous brickwork and natural bitumen uncoating, ensuring exceptional water retention. Such grandeur suggests a complex social and religious life within the city-minor state. Artifacts unearthed at Mahenoy Monastero reveal glimpses of ancient life. Archaeological discoveries include numerous carved seals, miniature figurines, and exquisite pottery. These objects demonstrate the artistic prowess of Indus Valley inhabitants and hint at a developed trade network. Seals and pottery found in Mesopotamia bear striking similarities to those from Mahenoy Monastero. Despite the abundance of artifacts, the heart of Mahenoy Monastero remains shrouded in mystery. Its writing system, the Indus script inscribed on seals and pottery, remains undeciphered to this day, leaving the city's social structures, governance systems, and belief systems largely enigmatic. Without written records, scholars must rely on physical clues to interpret this chapter of civilization. The decline of Mahenoy Monastero and the broad Indus Valley civilization remains a subject of considerable debate, with proposed causes including climate change, river course shifts, foreign invasions, or social upheaval. Whatever the reasons, by 1900 BCE, this once thriving metropolis lay utterly deserted. Its streets fell silent, and its structures gradually succumbed to the earth. Dvarka, the mythical underwater city of Indian legend situated off Gujarat's coast, now challenges our understanding of mythology and history with its submerged wonders. Welcome to Dvarka, where tales of golden palaces and bustling harbors may hold genuine remnants beneath the sea. Dvarka holds significant weight in Indian mythology, described in epics such as the Mahabharata as a magnificent city founded by Krishna himself. For centuries, it existed only in legends passed down through generations. Yet recent archaeological work has added a new chapter to this ancient tale. Underwater surveys off the Gujarat coast have revealed astonishing evidence of a thriving port city, where waves now churn. A bustling seaport once stood. Architectural remains and artifacts uncovered by divers and experts attest to this busy harbor's prosperity. Stone anchors, wall fragments and pottery shards scattered across the seabed whisper secrets of a thriving civilization dating to around 1500 BC or earlier. These discoveries astonished experts, revealing ancient Indians' mastery of urban planning and maritime trade far exceeding our previous understanding. Stone anchors indicate a sophisticated port where distant vessels may have brought exotic goods and new ideas. Yet the mystery of this metropolis's demise resonates curiously with mythical lore. Legends ascribe it to divine intervention, while science points to geological causes. Rising sea levels, tectonic shifts, or natural disasters may have triggered its submersion. This reminds us that the interplay between human civilization and natural forces remains ever present, forming the central theme of all tales of lost cities. The discovery of the submerged Dvarka site uniquely blurs the boundaries between myth and history. It prompts scrutiny of the historical foundations of ancient Indian texts. How much of what we call myth originates from real events, while the actual Dvarka cannot verify every detail of the epic. It suggests these legends may contain fragments of truth wrapped in cultural and religious significance. Studying Dvarka offers a precious window into ancient Indian culture and its interaction with nature. This submerged site acts as a time capsule, preserving traces of daily life, trade networks, and architectural remains, evidence that might have perished had the city remained on dry land. It opens a unique window onto India's maritime history, revealing trade networks that may have spanned the ancient world. NOK West Africa's hidden past. The NOK culture, born on the West African savanna, left behind a legacy of artistry and ingenuity. Imagine these exquisite terracotta busts. After 2 millennia, are buried in earth. They emerge with intricately styled hair. More than mere artifacts, they serve as portals to a lost world, showcasing creativity and masterful craftsmanship. Flourishing in Nigeria between 1500 and 500 BC, the Nok people were among West Africa's earliest known civilizations. Masters of pottery, they sculpted human and animal forms with extraordinary detail. These sculptures, featuring resolute faces and intricately carved coiffures, may have carried profound religious or symbolic significance for the Nok people. Their artistic mastery established Nok culture as a pioneer of sub-Saharan African art, influencing generations to come. Yet the Nok were not merely artists, they were also pioneers in metalworking, the first in West Africa to master iron smelting, creating advanced tools. This technological leap transformed the cultural landscape of the region, shaping West Africa's cultural identity for centuries. The society that produced these artistic and technological marvels was founded on agriculture, hunting, and ironworking. Archaeological evidence indicates settlements existed in Nigeria's savannah region. These communities collaborated in cultivation, hunting, and gathering raw materials for iron production. Despite its remarkable achievements and profound influence, Nok culture abruptly vanished around 500 AD, its decline remaining an enigma to this day. Some suggest climate change may have disrupted the resource balance, sustaining Nok livelihoods. Others speculate the Nok may have reaped what they sowed through over-minus exploitation of the land. Yet another view posits that external invasions brought this great civilization to an end. The legacy of Nok culture remains profound, its artistic traditions echo through time in the bronze sculptures of Ifend-Benin, while its iron-working technique spread across the region, driving technological advancement and economic prosperity. Regrettably, much Nok knowledge has been lost to the passage of time or deliberate destruction. Over centuries, Nok artifacts have been repeatedly plundered, removed from their archaeological contexts, and dispersed across the globe. This theft of cultural heritage not only destroys invaluable historical data but also deprives Nok descendants of their cultural root. The story of Nok culture reminds us that Africa possesses a rich and complex history. It challenges the conventional notion that technological inventions and artistic achievements in sub-Saharan Africa stem solely from external influences. These artifacts, trafficked globally, represent a theft of cultural history that not only plunders invaluable historical records, but also deprives the Nok descendants of their cultural foundation. The story of the Nok civilization reveals Africa's rich and complex history, challenging the outdated notion that technological inventions and art in sub-Saharan Africa originated exclusively from external sources. What emerges is a civilization that independently created advanced art forms and mastered intricate metalworking techniques, laying the groundwork for centuries of cultural and technological development across West Africa. As the Nok flourished in West Africa, another formidable civilization, the Bronze Age masters of the Hittites, rose in Anatolia. In Anatolia, the Hittites became the dominant force of the Near Eastern Bronze Age, establishing an empire rivaling Egypt and Mesopotamia. Their history began around 1600 BC in the region of modern-day Turkey. Innovators in warfare and technology, the Hittites mastered chariot tactics, dominating the battlefield with light-to-wheeled chariots and war horses. This military superiority enabled rapid territorial expansion, securing vast swaths of Anatolian the Levant. Yet the Hittites were not merely warriors, they pioneered metalworking. As the Bronze Age drew to a close, they were the first to discover and deploy iron on a large scale. This technological edge far surpassed their rivals and ushered in the Iron Age. The Hittite capital, Hadrasa, stands as a marvel of ancient urban planning in central Anatolia. Miles of massive stone walls, 20-6 feet thick, guarded intricate complexes of temples, palaces, and government buildings. They also constructed advanced hydraulic systems, including dams and reservoirs, providing a stable water supply for their growing population. It was their diplomatic skill. In 1259 BC, after years of conflict with Egypt, Hittite king Hattusil I and Pharaoh Ramses I signed the Treaty of Kadesh. This silver inscription, the earliest surviving peace agreement, ended hostilities between the two nations and established mutual defense and prisoner repatriation protocols. The Hittites developed an exceptionally intricate legal framework, with their Clade Ablet codes demonstrating a prudent judicial philosophy. For instance, mandating offenders to pay compensation to victims and permitting criminals to atone through community labor. As their territory expanded, the Hittite Empire exhibited religious tolerance and cultural adaptability, incorporating the deities and beliefs of conquered peoples into their own system. This religious synthesis maintained stability within the diverse empire, highlighting their diplomatic acumen. Yet despite its formidable strength, the Hittite Empire abruptly collapsed around 1180 BC. This demise coincided with widespread turmoil across the Mediterranean and Near East, the Late Bronze Age collapse, whose causes remain debated, from mysterious sea peoples' invasions to internal strife and environmental shifts. Whatever the reasons, the Hittites' demise brought an era of ancient history to a close. For centuries, their civilization faded into obscurity, preserved only in fragmentary references within the Bible and Egyptian texts. It was not until the late 19th century that scholars began uncovering the true nature of Hittite culture. The rediscovered ruins of Hattu-Isin, the deciphered Hittite crypt, revealed a complex and powerful empire that had lain dormant for millennia. The ancient Iranians of Elam, the Elamites of Iran, established an empire rivaling Mesopotamia in power, yet their name remains largely unknown. Their story challenges our understanding of the cradle of civilization, filling a crucial gap in our perception of ancient history. Settling in southwestern Iran on around 2700 BCE, the Elamites became one of the Near East's oldest civilizations. They constructed pivotal cities like Susa, a cultural and political hub, enduring millennia of change. Picture a city predating ancient Egypt, bustling markets, monumental temples and palaces weathered by time. These ancient Iranians forged a distinctive culture, blending indigenous craftsmanship with Mesopotamian influences. This fusion was particularly evident in art, where indigenous styles harmonized with neighboring motifs. Architecture likewise reflected this blend, incorporating elements from both regions. Yet the most captivating aspect was the writing system. The Elamites adopted the Mesopotamian script early on. Architecture likewise reflects sculptural amalgamation, with structures bearing dual cultural characteristics. Yet the most remarkable aspect is their writing system. The Elandeans were not only early adopters of Sumerian cuneiform, but built upon it to create a distinct script for recording everything from legal documents to religious texts. This flourishing of early writing enabled them to construct a complex society with a sophisticated governmental structure. Their cities became centers of invention and advancement. The Elamites achieved significant breakthroughs in agriculture, cultivating barren lands and establishing an extensive trade network that facilitated the exchange of goods and ideas with distant lands. This economic prosperity enabled them to develop a highly organized social system, characterized by distinct class structures and specialist divisions of labor. Yet the Elamites' ambitions extended beyond their homeland. They were pivotal players in regional politics, frequently entangled in neighboring powers' rivalries. They forged alliances or waged war against the great contemporary civilizations of the Akkadian Babylonians, and Assyrians. At times conquerors, at others conquered, they invariably rose again to restore their former might. For over 2 millennia, Elam remained the significant force in the ancient Near East. Yet all empires eventually meet their end. In 539 BC, Cyrus the Great, king of Persia, conquered Elam, incorporating it into the Achaemenid Empire. Though Elam ceased to exist as an independent state, its cultural influence endured. Numerous elements of Elamite culture were assimilated into the Persian Empire, shaping the region for centuries. Despite Elam's long history and pivotal position, much of its knowledge remains shrouded in mystery. Its culture offers a unique window into the intricate networks of exchange that shaped the ancient world. As scholars continue to unearth the secrets of this lost empire, our understanding of the origins of Iranian civilization deepens. The kingdom of Tartessos, Spain's legendary civilization. Imagine a kingdom rich in precious metals, its wealth the stuff of legend. Welcome to Tartessos, the forgotten golden realm of antiquity. Upon the sun-drenched hills of southern Spain, this advanced civilization once stood shoulder to shoulder with the Mediterranean's mightiest empires. Why did it vanish without a trace? The tale of Tartessos begins around 1200 BC in southwestern Iberia, present-day Andalusia. Rich in deposits of gold, silver, and copper, the Tartessians were not merely fortunate to inhabit and rich in metals, they were also masters at extracting and smelting these precious resources. Their metalworking skills were so exquisite that they could craft jewelry and bronze statues that would have been the envy of Greek and Egyptian artisans. Yet Tartessos' value extended far beyond its metals. Its strategic location at the Guadalquivir estuary made it a natural harbor and trading hub. Vessels from across the Mediterranean, Phoenicians, Greeks, and others, sailed to Tartessos, eager to exchange their goods for the kingdom's prized metals. The strategic position of the Guadalquivir estuary made it a natural maritime trade hub. Ships from all corners of the Mediterranean, Phoenicians, Greeks, and others, made their way to Tartessos, seeking to trade their wares for the kingdom's coveted metals. This bustling trade not only brought wealth, but also exposed the Tartessians to diverse ideas, technologies, and cultural influences, shaping their unique identity. Particularly fascinating within Tartessos culture is its writing system. Tartessian script ranks among the oldest writing systems in Western Europe, blending indigenous innovations with foreign elements likely derived from the Phoenician alphabet. These enigmatic symbols, discovered by scholars upon stellian artifacts, offer a thrilling window into the thoughts and beliefs of this lost civilization. The ancient Greeks were particularly fascinated by Tartessos, documenting it as a land of abundant wealth and longevity. They recorded the reign of King Ilg Antonio, known as the Silver Man, said to have ruled for 80 years and lived to the age of 120. Though these tales merit skepticism, they underscore the ancient Greek reverence for Tartessos, which served as an enduring source of inspiration. Archaeological evidence reveals a highly developed urban society. The Tartessians constructed meticulously planned cities featuring advanced annotation systems, monumental public buildings, and formidable fortifications. They excelled in agriculture, cultivating crops and raising livestock on the fertile lands along the Guadalquivir River. Yet their most astonishing achievement was their mastery of water management, constructing intricate irrigation networks and excavating artificial lakes to transform this often harsh terrain into an agricultural paradise. Despite these remarkable accomplishments, the Tartessian kingdom collapsed around 500 BC. The reasons for its demise remain uncertain. Some attribute it to environmental shifts potentially stemming from over-exploitation of resources, while others point to changes in the Mediterranean power structure. The rise of Carthage may have disrupted Tartessos' trade networks and political influence. The Lycian Anatolia's forgotten democracy in southwestern Anatolia, present-day Turkey. The Lycian emerge as a distinctive and influential people. Their history, spanning from the late Bronze Age to the Roman period, leaves a legacy that continues to fascinate scholars. The Lycian were not merely participants in ancient civilization, but political innovators. They pioneered one of the earliest democratic systems, predating Athens by centuries. They established a confederation of city-states governed by a common assembly, a representative and collective decision-making system that set them apart from neighboring kingdoms ruled by monarchs or oligarchies. Yet Lycian achievements extended beyond political innovation. They excelled equally in art and architecture, particularly in rituals honoring the deceased. Lycian tomb, carved into cliffs or constructed from massive monoliths, showcase both artistic mastery and reverence for the afterlife. These exquisitely crafted structures often resemble miniature temples or mansions, designed to immortalize the memory of the deceased. Today, these tombs stand as iconic symbols of Lydian culture, drawing global visitors to marvel at their intricate design and breathtaking landscapes. As an Indo-European language, Lydian offers another lens through which to interpret their unique culture. They developed a distinct script based on the Greek alphabet, aiding scholars in studying their social traditions. Tomb inscriptions, coins, and artifacts record Lydian names, familial bonds, and religious beliefs, situated along vital trade routes. The Lydians were deeply attuned to foreign cultural influences. Their strategic location facilitated contact with Greek, Persian, and later Roman civilizations. This multicultural immersion forged a society blending indigenous customs with imported ideas. Yet the Lydians retained a distinct national character. They were not passive recipients of foreign cultures but active defenders of freedom. During the Greco-Persian Wars, their exceptional seafaring skills enabled them to aid Greece in resisting the Persian Empire. This alliance demonstrated not only military prowess but also a profound commitment to liberty. Yet like many ancient civilizations, Lydia ultimately succumbed to the expansion of greater powers. The Roman Empire's steady expansion across the Mediterranean incorporated Lydia into its domain. While this ended its independence, it failed to extinguish its cultural influence. Many aspects of Lydian art, architecture, and even political systems endured under Roman rule. Should this historical journey captivate you, we invite you to subscribe for more films exploring epic legends. Nabateans beyond Petra, the Desert Empire. As an Arab people, the Nabateans established an empire far exceeding the scope of their renowned capital, Petra. Their saga began in the arid lands of the Near East during the 4th century BC. Not only were they masterful architects, but also astute merchants. They controlled pivotal trade routes linking Arabia to the Mediterranean world. These desert corridors became the empire's lifeline, transporting precious goods and luxuries like spices and frankincense. Their unique geographical position and trading prowess made the Nabateans one of the wealthiest and most influential peoples of the ancient world. Yet how did they build such a formidable civilization in one of Earth's harshest environments? The answer lies in astonishing ingenuity and adaptability. The Nabateans engineered intricate hydraulic systems that not only made desert survival possible but fostered prosperity. They constructed complex networks of dams, reservoirs, and aqueducts that collected rainwater, stored supplies, and transported water over vast distances, sustaining agriculture and population growth. Their capital, Petra, showcases their architectural and engineering prowess, a city carved into red rock cliffs, featuring ominous, inspiring structures like the Treasury Arch, as named the monastery deer. These masterpieces, blending Hellenistic influences with indigenous design, continue to draw global visitors. Petra boasts astonishing structures like the Treasury Arch, as named the monastery deer. These monuments, merging Hellenistic styles with local design, form a unique architectural legacy that still captivates travelers. Yet Petra was not merely a showcase of Nabatean craftsmanship. It was a bustling city and a pivotal hub within their extensive trade network. The Nabateans' success extended beyond commerce and engineering. They cultivated a rich cultural and religious life, Their polytheistic beliefs included deities such as Deus Shor, the mountain god, and uses a goddess associated with Venus. They constructed exquisite temples and performed intricate rituals to express their spiritual convictions. These practices did not exist in isolation, but evolved through contact with other cultures, demonstrating the Nabatean-esque capacity to adapt and assimilate external influences. This adaptability extended to other cultural spheres. Upon encountering Hellenistic and later Roman influences, the Nabateans skillfully adopted and adapted elements to suit their needs, incorporating Greek and Roman architectural styles, borrowing aspects of legal systems, and even commencing coin minting. Despite this, they successfully preserved a distinct national identity and cultural traditions. Nabatean culture reached its zenith in the 1st century AD, yet its independence that ascended in 106 AD, when the Roman Emperor Trajan conquered their kingdom. Though political autonomy ceased, its cultural influence endured. Many Nabatean cultural elements and inventions endured and spread under Roman rule. Imagine a thriving Garamantian city, stone-built structures lining the streets, advanced agricultural techniques, and intricate trade networks crossing the landscape. Now place this scene in the Sahara Desert 3 millennia ago, where the Garamantes achieved what seemed impossible to the world, transforming barren desert into an oasis of culture and innovation. In 1st millennium BC Libya, these desert pioneers forged an intricate civilization that endured for nearly 2 millennia, thriving in the world's harshest environment. Their secret lay beneath the scorching sands. The FAL, an underground irrigation system. This intricate network of tunnel wells drew upon subterranean water sources, channeling life giving water to the surface. This enabled them to cultivate wheat, barley, and dates in an environment where most vegetation perished. The FOQA system demonstrated the Halamanti people's engineering prowess and the will to survive on seemingly hostile land. With a stable food supply, they established enduring settlements. Their capital, Kalam, modern-day Germa, was not the transient encampment typical of desert nomads, but a city-state with stone-built structures and planned streets, comparable to urban centers in temperate regions. Archaeological evidence indicates this highly organized society possessed an advanced cultural form, overturning earlier perceptions of the Kalam as mere nomads. Yet the Kalamans were not content merely to inhabit their desert homeland. They became renowned merchants, acting as intermediaries between sub-Saharan African and Mediterranean civilizations. Caravans traversed the vast desert, transporting gold, salt, slave, and rare goods. This trade network brought wealth to the Kalamans and facilitated cultural exchange across the expansive ancient world. Despite enduring the vicissitudes of time, the Garamantes maintained a distinct cultural identity. They developed a unique language and writing system, though much of their literature remains indecipherable to this day. This distinctive script unveils cultural landscapes steeped in enigma for modern scholars. Yet the very adaptive strategies that enabled the Kalamites to flourish in the desert ultimately precipitated their decline. The extensive water usage of the FOQA irrigation system gradually depleted the groundwater sources. As these water sources dried up, the Kalamites faced increasingly severe environmental pressures. This internal crisis, compounded by the external threat of imperial expansion, ultimately led to the demise of their civilization around the year 700 AD. The Etruscans, precursors to Roman culture, redefined our understanding of the origins of Roman civilization. These inhabitants of central Italy, active from the 9th century BC to the 1st century AD, were not merely neighbors to Rome, but the unseen guides to the empire's birth. They established advanced city-states, such as Elvinum, and Ulvinum, whose culture not only flourished across Italy, but also became a pivotal hub within the Mediterranean world. The Etruscans, who flourished in Central Italy between 900 BC and 100 BC, were not merely neighbors to Rome, but the unseen guides to the empire's birth. The Etruscans established advanced states like Arcaniwa, Vii, and Cherry far from rudimentary settlements. These were meticulously planned urban centers boasting fortified walls and monumental architecture. Imagine walking Etruscan streets flanked by stone miners-built structures and sophisticated drainage systems, engineering marvels that later inspired Roman architects and urban planners. The most captivating facet of Etruscan culture was undoubtedly its art. Exquisite pottery, lifelike bronze sculptures, and vibrant frescoes celebrating life, religion, and the afterlife. Unlike the austere art of other ancient civilizations, Etruscan artists depicted scenes of revelry and feasting. Bronze mirrors engraved with mythological tales further revealed their daily life and beliefs. As masterful engineers, the Etruscans pioneered inventions that shaped future architecture, with their mastery of the art becoming the hallmark of Roman engineering. Next time you behold a Roman aqueduct or the Colosseum, remember these architectural marvels trace their origins to the Etruscans. Religion held a central place in Etruscan society, with divination and elaborate rituals deeply woven into daily life. Priests were adept at interpreting divine oracles, a practice profoundly shaping Roman religious forms. The Romans adopted numerous Etruscan deities and rituals, molding the empire's spiritual landscape. Particularly captivating within Etruscan culture is its linguistic system. Though some texts are decipherable, the language remains largely shrouded in mystery. The Etruscan alphabet, derived from the Greek alphabet, appears on numerous artifacts and tombstones, where words can be recognized, yet their deeper meanings often remain elusive. This linguistic enigma adds to Etruscan culture's allure, continuing to fascinate scholars to this day. As the Roman Republic expanded, Etruscan city minor states were gradually absorbed, though their political autonomy ended. Their cultural influence endured, from artistic architecture and religious rituals to governmental structures. Etruscan imprints are evident everywhere. As cultural precursors to Rome, the Etruscans bequeathed a profound legacy. They provided the Romans with a sophisticated model of urban life, advanced engineering techniques, and a rich artistic tradition. Even as their own civilization faded, their ideas and creations persisted through the burgeoning Roman Empire. The ancient city of Euboea and the Arabian Peninsula, this Atlantis buried beneath the sands, stands as testament, engineering prowess and a rich artistic heritage. Even as Etruscan civilization gradually faded, its ideas and inventions endured through the burgeoning Roman Empire. We wade Arabia's Atlantis in legends buried beneath the sand, myth and reality intertwined. Imagine a city of such opulence that its foundations were said to be cast in gold, yet vanished entirely from history's annals, regarded for centuries as pure fiction. This is Obeid Atlantis in the desert, a legendary ancient city that once flourished in the heart of Arabia's desert, though its origins remain shrouded in mystery. Ubaid's significance in the ancient world is undeniable. This lost city served as a pivotal hub in the frankincense trade, linking Arabia to great empires such as Rome, Persia, and India. Frankincense, this fragrant resin, was among the most prized commodities of antiquity, employed in religious rites, medicine, and as a luxury commodity. Through its strategic location, Euboea controlled this lucrative trade route, amassing immense wealth and power. Its prosperity became legendary, with tales of a city strewn with gold and jewels, where sweet springs flowed amidst the endless sands. Yet like many legends of lost cities, Euboea's fate ultimately descended into darkness. Islamic tradition and local mythology recount how the city's wealth bred arrogance, leading it to stray from the righteous path and incur divine wrath. ultimately being buried beneath the desert dunes. For centuries, the Ubaid remained an alluring enigma, its very existence a subject of scholarly and exploratory debate. By the late 20th century, modern technology began unraveling this ancient enigma. Satellite imagery revealed an ancient trade route converging within Oman. This discovery prompted archaeologists to excavate the Haiza region, uncovering the remains of an ancient settlement. Haiza presented a fortified complex built around a major water source, the lifeblood sustaining existence in the harsh desert. This oasis served as a natural staging post for caravans crossing the Arabian desert. Excavated artifacts, including pottery shards, indicate a community that thrived for centuries. What caused the decline of this great city? Unlike the dramatic divine punishment of myth, the reality may have been simpler yet equally devastating. Some theories suggest the city's demise stemmed from water depletion, while others speculate that excessive extraction caused collapses in the underlying limestone caverns. Alternatively, shifts in trade routes may have weakened Uba's economy, leading to its gradual decline. Uba's story serves as a stark reminder of human settlement's fragility, particularly in harsh environments, highlighting the critical role of natural resources, especially water, in sustaining civilization. The rise and fall of a city, its ascent and decline, mirror the cyclical prosperity and decay that have defined civilizations throughout history. Monte Alban, the Zapotec mountain city perched atop a plateau in the Mexican highlands, stands as a testament to ancient craftsmanship and urban splendor. As one of Mesoamerica's earliest urban centers, this extraordinary settlement flourished for over a millennium, leaving an indelible mark on the Americas' historical tapestry. The tale of Monte Alban began around 500 BC in the valley of Oaxaca, present-day southern Mexico, demonstrating exceptional engineering prowess. The Zapotecs chose to build their capital upon a mountain ridge. They leveled the summit, creating a vast artificial plateau as the city's foundation. This monumental undertaking required immense manpower and meticulous planning, showcasing the organizational capabilities of early Zapotec society. The Zapotecs demonstrated extraordinary engineering ingenuity by selecting a mountain ridge for the capital. They leveled the summit, forming a vast artificial plateau as the foundation for their magnificent city. This monumental undertaking demanded a substantial workforce and meticulous planning, showcasing the organizational prowess of early Zapotec society. The urban layout reflects profound architectural design principles of vast central plaza that formed the heart of Monte Alban, encircled by magnificent structures serving diverse functions. Temples dedicated to Zapotec deities rose prominently within the city, while palaces housed the ruling elite. Particularly captivating is an ancient observatory, revealing the Zapotec's deep fascination with celestial phenomena and their endeavors to track the movements of the heavens. Monte Alban's stone carvings reveal the rich complexity of Zapotec culture. The famed dancers' reliefs have perplexed scholars for generations. These contorted figures were once thought to depict dancers, yet modern interpretations suggest they may represent prisoners of war, ritual figures, or even medical conditions. The true meaning of these enigmatic carvings remains uncertain, adding further mystery to Monte Alban. The achievements of the Zapotecs are equally astonishing. They created one of the earliest writing systems in the Americas, whose texts continue to fascinate scholars. Their calligraphical system, influenced by other Mesoamerican cultures, demonstrates a profound understanding of time and celestial cycles. These accomplishments paint a picture of a society devoted to recording history, religious beliefs, and astronomical observations. The strategic summit location of Monte Alban afforded the Zapotecs commanding views over the surrounding valleys, providing both defensive advantages and control over vital trade routes. The city flourished as a commercial hub, fostering connections with other Mesoamerican centers. Archaeological evidence confirms Monte Alban's interactions with the Olmec civilization and the great city of Teotihuacan, underscoring its significant standing within the Mesoamerican world. For over a millennium, Monte Alban flourished as the heartland of Zapotic culture. Yet around 850 CE, this magnificent city began its decline. The reasons for its demise remain shrouded in mystery, though scholars propose several hypotheses. Political fragmentation within Zapotic territories may have weakened the city's authority. Depletion of surrounding natural resources could have made sustaining the metropolis untenable. Population growth and competition from neighboring powers may have accelerated its decline. The lost power of the Andes. The Tehuantepec ruins on the shores of Lake Titicaca bear witness to the marvels of human ingenuity and adaptability. This ancient city, flourishing between 400 and 1000 AD, stands as a paragon of ancient engineering and urban planning. Perched at a breathless altitude, this pre-Columbian metropolis rose amidst harsh conditions to become a hub of culture, religion, and trade. Its monumental architecture continues to astonish visitors and experts alike. The Gate of the Sun, a colossal stone archway adorned with intricate carvings, stands as the site's focal point. The adjacent Temple of Colors is Aya Undok upon a pyramid showcase the Tiahuanaco builders' mastery of stone cutting. These monumental structures were constructed without mortar, their stones fitted so precisely that even today an knife blade cannot be inserted between the joints. Yet Tehuantepec's allure extends far beyond its monumental structures. Its urban layout reflects a profound understanding of spatial and social organization. Broad avenues and vast plazas testify to the vibrant life of a thriving metropolis. The raised terrace farming system, a network of elevated terraces divided by canals, enabled the Tehuantepec people to cultivate crops in the harsh highland environment. This agricultural innovation, supported by extensive irrigation systems, sustained a large population and produced surplus grain for trade. Indeed, Tiahuanaco's influence extended far beyond its borders, serving as a hub for cultural and economic exchange that radiated from northern Chile to southern Peru. Artifacts unearthed at distant sites vividly demonstrate Tehuantepec craftsmanship. Religion occupied a central position in Tehuantepec society, permeating every facet of daily life. The city's layout and architecture reflected deep connections to celestial observation, cosmic belief. The creator god Viracocha was the central deity, his image frequently depicted in exquisite stone carvings and pottery. To maintain cosmic order and ensure bountiful harvests, ritual practices may have included human sacrifice. Despite its formidable power, Tehuantepec's rule proved unsustainable. Around the year 1000 CE, the city entered a period of rapid decline. Prolonged drought, possibly exacerbated by climate change, caused the collapse of the agricultural system that had sustained its population for centuries. Overconsumption of resources led to environmental degradation, and political fragmentation likely arose from these environmental pressures. Around the year 1000 AD, the city entered a period of rapid decline. Persistent drought, potentially exacerbated by climate change, overwhelmed the agricultural system that had sustained its population for centuries, while environmental degradation from over-enclosed resources further undermined the city's foundations. Political fragmentation may well have been a chain reaction triggered by these environmental pressures, ultimately leading to Tehuantepec's gradual demise. Yet its cultural legacy endured beyond its demise. Centuries later, the emerging Inca revered this ancient city, integrating Tehuantepec's cultural elements and architectural components into their own civilization, regarding the ruins as masterpieces of deities or legendary ancestors. This cultural continuity underscores Tehuantepec's profound influence on Andean societies. Deep within the Honduran jungle, the Mayan civilization of Copan, though vanished, echoes with grand and enigmatic legends from the verdant canopy as one of the most ominous, inspiring my uncity minus states. Copen flourished between 400 and 900 AD. This ancient metropolis, shrouded in lush greenery, testifies to human ingenuity through its creators' extraordinary artistic mastery. Copen's skyline is dominated by monumental temples and palaces, with stepped pyramids reaching towards the heavens. Yet what truly distinguishes this city are its exquisitely carved stone slabs and hieroglyphic staircases. These stone monuments are not mere decoration, but living records of the city's history, its rulers, and the cosmic worldview that shaped my society. Ruled by a powerful royal lineage, each sovereign contributed to Copen's prosperity. These rulers were not merely political figures, but were revered as sacred intermediaries between the mortal and divine realms. Their reigns were marked by monumental building projects, continually expanding the city's ceremonial center and bolstering its cultural influence. Yet Copen was far more than a splendid facade. Its inhabitants were intellectual giants of their era. The sophisticated mathematical and astronomical systems devised by the Copenmire rivaled, and even surpassed, their global counterparts. They meticulously tracked celestial movements, crafting calendars capable of predicting solar eclipses and planetary alignments decades in advance. Their literary achievements were equally astonishing. My writing, with its intricate pictographic symbols, not only chronicled historical events, but also conveyed complex mythologies and astronomical counting systems. This most advanced writing system in pre-Columbian America provides modern scholars with a crucial window into Maya culture and history. Yet life in Copen was not solely devoted to high learning. Within this bustling center of trade and craftsmanship, artisans produced exquisite pottery, jewelry, and textiles, while merchants exchanged these goods for precious items such as cocoa, jade, and exotic feathers. Copen's wealth drew people from afar, causing its population to surge and its influence to spread throughout the region. Yet around the 9th century AD, the situation abruptly changed. Copen, once a thriving metropolis, began its decline. Its population dwindled, and its grand structures gradually fell into ruin. What caused such a dramatic reversal of fortune? Experts and historians have pieced together a complex picture of Copen's demise. Multiple factors converged to create a perfect storm. Overpopulation, depleted local resources, nearby forests, work cleared for cultivation and fuel, leading to soil erosion. Climate change may have exacerbated the crisis, with prolonged droughts making it increasingly difficult to sustain the growing population. Internal conflicts, fueled by dwindling resources, intensified rivalry among elites, and societal pressures may have precipitated political instability, eroding the ruling class's authority. Ultimately, the city was abandoned, its once majestic temples and palaces swallowed by the jungle. Peru's Mochica civilization, art and ritual in the desert between AD 100 and 800. The Mochica civilization flourished in a harsh environment, its artistic achievements still captivating scholars today. This masterfully skilled civilization transformed barren lands into cultural hubs, continually pushing the boundaries of artistic, technological, and religious expression. The Mochica excelled in pottery, crafting pieces that transcended mere utilitarian vessels to become exquisite artworks depicting daily life and intricate mythological scenes. Each pottery piece unfolds like a narrative scroll, its intricate patterns bearing witness to the beliefs and customs of a vanished civilization. The master potters of Mochica created vessels that serve as windows into their world. These were no ordinary utensil, but exquisite artworks depicting everything from daily routines to intricate mythological scenes, each piece narrating a story, each design embodying the faith and traditions of a lost culture. The lifelike portraits and vivid scenes on the ceramics are astonishing, as if reviving past eras before our eyes. Yet the Mochica's mastery extended far beyond this. They were also highly skilled metalworkers, showcasing their technical prowess through magnificent gold and silver artifacts. These pieces served not merely as ornaments, but as symbols of power. The precision and artistry of their metalwork rivaled any contemporary global civilization. The landscape of Mochica territory is dominated by colossal adobe pyramids, the Temple of the Sun and Temple of the Moons, and as testament to their architectural ambition. These structures were not merely ominous, inspiring edifices, but the very heart of Mochica society, serving as centers for religious ceremonies and hubs for governmental affairs. The sheer scale is all the more remarkable, given the limitations of ancient construction techniques. Religion occupied a central position in Mochica life, permeating every layer of society. Their complex rituals frequently involved human sacrifice, a practice shocking to modern sensibilities, yet deeply rooted in their belief system. These ceremonies were not acts of cruelty, but devout efforts to appease the gods and maintain cosmic equilibrium. The Mochica believed that only through sacrifice could they sustain their way of life within their harsh environment. Regarding challenges, the Mochica faced formidable hardships in their desert homeland, yet they did not merely endure, they flourished. They developed sophisticated agricultural techniques, including extensive irrigation channels and terraced farming systems, enabling crops to thrive on otherwise barren land. Mastery over their environment became pivotal to the civilization's flourishing and longevity. Despite these remarkable achievements, Mochica civilization ultimately declined. The precise causes remain debated, though evidence points to a perfect storm of environmental and societal factors. Intense El Niño events triggered devastating floods and prolonged droughts, placing immense strain on agricultural systems. These climatic upheavals likely precipitated food shortages and social unrest, undermining the foundations of Mochica society. Internal conflicts may have further destabilized the civilization, ultimately hastening its demise. The hidden rainforest metropolis between 400 and 1400 AD, the Moray Oura culture flourished on Moray Oura Island within the Amazon River Delta. This advanced pre-Columbian society challenged perceptions of ancient Amazonian cultures. Contrary to stereotypes of jungle dwellers, the Moray Oura people built complex social structures and demonstrated remarkable ingenuity in adapting to harsh conditions. Among their most remarkable achievements was their ingenious solution to seasonal flooding, constructing massive earthen platforms called TSOS to elevate settlements above floodwaters. These earthen platforms were not merely functional, but engineering marvels, demonstrating the Moray Oura people's profound environmental understanding. Some TSO were vast enough to accommodate entire communities, incorporating residential areas, ceremonial spaces, and burial grounds. The Moray Oura were also highly skilled artisans, particularly adept at pottery production. These earthen platforms were not merely functional, but engineering marvels, demonstrating the Moray Oura people's profound environmental understanding. Certain TSO were vast enough to house entire communities, encompassing residential quarters, ceremonial spaces, and burial grounds. The Malahuel people were also highly skilled artisans, particularly adept at pottery making. Their ceramics served not merely as utilitarian objects, but as works of art, offering crucial insights into their culture and beliefs. The pottery is adorned with intricate geometric patterns and depictions of humans and animals. These designs were not merely decorative, they likely carried profound symbolic meaning, possibly linked to their religious beliefs. Regarding social structure, archaeological evidence suggests a hierarchical system existed within Molag society. Clues from funeral customs and ritual objects point to a stratified society. Some deceased were buried with elaborate grave goods, including exquisite pottery and jewelry, while others received only rudimentary funerals. This suggests a class-divided society, potentially comprising a ruling elite, skilled artisans, and ordinary laborers. The Mola were not only accomplished artists and engineers but also astute cultivators. They practiced intensive cultivation centered on cassava as their primary crop, yet their agricultural practices extended far beyond rudimentary farming, employing sophisticated techniques to manage their environment, including fish farming and water control systems. They sustained a substantial population on land most were deemed barren. Despite these remarkable achievements, the Mara civilization ultimately declined, the reasons for which remain enigmatic. Scholars propose multiple hypotheses. Some suggest environmental shifts may have disrupted their delicate equilibrium with nature. Others posit resource depletion as the key factor. Intensive cultivation and a large population eventually exceeding the environment's capacity for recovery. Conflict with neighboring groups may also have been a contributing factor. The discovery and study of the Mara civilization profoundly altered our understanding of pre-Columbian Amazonia. For a long time, it was believed that the Amazon region was sparsely populated before European contact, inhabited only by scattered tribes living a primitive rainforest existence. The emergence of the Mara civilization overturned this perception, proving that complex societies could indeed flourish in the Amazon. Cahokia Mounds, the lost metropolis of the Americas, imagine a city rivaling London in 1250 AD in scale. In the year 1250, this metropolis flourished along the Mississippi River, not across the Atlantic. It was Cahokia, this colossal pre-Columbian city, situated north of Mexico near present-day St. Louis, Missouri, boasted a population of approximately 20,000 during its zenith between 1050 and 1200 AD, making it one of North America's most prosperous urban centers prior to European contact. At the heart of Cahokia stood monumental earthen mounds, with Priest Mound serving as its crowning jewel. This colossal structure, rising over 100 feet high, occupies a footprint even larger than that of the Great Pyramid of Giza. As the city's ceremonial and political heart, the summit of Priest Mound may have housed the chieftain who presided over major rituals. Constructing such a monumental edifice demanded immense labor and sophisticated organization, demonstrating the advanced social structure of the Mississippian culture. Cahokia's urban planning displayed remarkable sophistication, a grid layout with large open plazas and residential quarters encircling Central Mound, while nearly 2-mile long wooden palisades surrounded the core city, serving both defensive purposes and symbolically demarcating sacred spaces from everyday areas. Its urban design rivaled that of contemporary European cities. Agriculture formed the backbone of Cahokia society, with maize cultivation occupying a central role. The fertile floodplains of the Mississippi River Valley provided ideal conditions for intensive cultivation, enabling the Cahokia people to sustain a large population and produce trade surpluses. They also utilized the abundant local environment for hunting and fishing. The Cahokia people participated in a trade network spanning much of North America for goods discovered at the site, including shells from the Gulf Coast, copper from the Great Lakes, and mica from the Appalachian Mountains, attest to their extensive trade network and economic influence. This trade not only brought material wealth, but also facilitated the exchange of ideas and cultural practices across vast territories. Religion and astronomy held significant roles within Cahokia society. Artifacts such as Appalachian mica, Great Lakes copper ore, and Gulf of Mexico shells discovered at the Cahokia site attest to its extensive long-distance trade networks and profound economic reach. This commerce not only yielded material wealth, but also facilitated the exchange of ideas and cultural practices across vast territories. Religion and astronomy held significant status within Cahokia society. The site's enigmatic circular array of red cedar posts, termed the wooden stone circle by scholars, resembles Britain's Stonehenge. These structures likely served for astronomical observation and marking ceremonial dates. The precise alignment of the posts with solar eclipses and lunar phases demonstrates the Cahokia people's profound understanding of celestial movements and their integration into religious and political life. Despite its grandeur, Cahokia experienced a rapid decline around 1300 AD, falling largely into abandonment by approximately 1400. The causes of its collapse remain a subject of scholarly debate. Environmental factors, deforestation, soil erosion, and agricultural decline due to climate change may have played a role. Social unrest fueled by resource scarcity and population pressure could have been a catalyst, while other scholars speculate that plague may have ravaged densely populated urban centers. The legacy of the ancestral Pueblo ANS of Choco Canyon has revolutionized our understanding of ancient civilizations in the arid heartland of the American Southwest between 850 and 1250 CE. This extraordinary people forged a complex society rivaling those of the Old World. Choco Canyon, situated in present Minas Day, New Mexico, stands as the jewel of ancestral Pueblo and culture. Here they erected monumental stone structures known as grand houses, with the largest, Pueblo Bonito, representing an edge, a nearing marvel. This multi-story complex housed hundreds of rooms, showcasing the Pueblo ANS architectural prowess, the pinnacle of architectural artistry. Yet the ancestral Pueblo ANS achievements extended far beyond monumental structures. They radiated a network of roads from Choco Canyon. These pathways, over 30 feet wide, connected distant communities, facilitating regional trade. Constructing and maintaining such a transport system in such a harsh environment demanded astonishing levels of organization and cooperation. Equally remarkable was their mastery of the natural world. They precisely aligned their structures with celestial events like the solstices and equinoxes, demonstrating advanced astronomical knowledge. This cosmic awareness was not merely formal, it likely played a pivotal role in agricultural practices and religious belief. Regarding agriculture, the ancestral Pueblo ANS were masters of desert cultivation, constructing intricate irrigation systems to grow maize, beans, and squash in water-scarce lands. Their skill in extracting sustenance from this barren terrain sustained population growth and cultural flourishing. At the heart of Pueblo spiritual life lay the kiva, a circular underground chamber used for religious ceremonies and communal gatherings. These sacred spaces revealed a profound connection between daily existence and spiritual belief, serving as tangible bridges between the earthly and spiritual realms that embodied the ancient inhabitants' complete worldview for centuries. Choco Canyon flourished as a cultural, commercial, and spiritual hub until a dramatic shift around 1250 AD. Grand dwellings lay abandoned, and inhabitants dispersed. Experts attribute this to multiple converging factors. Prolonged droughts crippled agricultural systems, while over-exploitation of resources like timber exacerbated environmental degradation. These challenges, compounded by potential social unrest, compelled the Pueblo ANS to seek new settlements. A city rose from the sea, its foundations not stone but coral and basalt. Welcome to Nanamao, the Pacific. Islanders Venice, born from their defiance of the ocean. Around 1200 AD, on the island of Pohnpei, now part of Micronesia, the So-Delled dynasty embarked upon a monumental endeavor, constructing a city unprecedented in the Pacific. Nanamo was not merely built upon land, but upon the water itself. Ancient engineers utilized colossal basalt columns and coral reef, constructing nearly 100 artificial islands through a network of canals to form the city's foundation. Coral formed the base of nearly 100 artificial islands, interconnected by a canal network to create the entire city's foundation. But how did they transport these colossal stones? Some basalt columns weighed 50 tons, with the nearest quarries miles away, yet the Sodalines possessed neither metal tools nor wheels. Researchers speculate they may have utilized drafts during high tide to float the stones to designated positions. Upon arrival, they astonishingly hoisted and stacked these monoliths with remarkable precision. This city stands as a marvel, serving as the ceremonial and political heart of the Saudi Arabian dynasty. The artificial islands were dotted with royal residences, tombs, temples, and food processing areas. The most spectacular structure was the southern avenue of the royal tombs, Duhuaz, whose walls, built from stacked basalt columns, reached a height of 20-5 feet. Namadiwaya was not merely an architectural marvel, but the heart of a complex society. From this base, the Saudi rulers unified the island's inhabitants, establishing a centralized government system with a strict socio-religious hierarchy. The city's layout reflected this order. Different islands served distinct functions within social and spiritual life. Life on Nanamore must have been unique rather than roads. Canoes navigated between structures. The intricate network of canals served not merely as scenery but as primary transport arteries. Fish schools swam beneath the houses, the rhythmic clapping of water against stone walls forming the daily ambient soundscape. Yet sustaining this city exacted a price. The population of Nanamore and its environs placed immense strain on local resources, demanding intensive farming and fishing to feed all. Over time, this likely led to environmental degradation. By around 1500 AD, Nanamore's golden age had come to an end. Nanamo's glorious era thus drew to a close. The precise reasons for its decline remain debated. Some scholars attribute it to internal strife, perhaps linked to the pressures of sustaining a complex social system. Others point to environmental degradation, making population maintenance unsustainable. Whatever the cause, the city was gradually abandoned, its extraordinary structures ultimately reclaimed by jungle and sea. Today, Nanamo stands as a testament to the creative power of Pacific Island cultures, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its unique architecture and cultural significance command global attention. Yet it is more than a historical relic. Nanamo challenges our understanding of ancient civilizational capabilities, demonstrating how humanity adapted to and transformed its environment in extraordinary ways. The lost kingdom of Axum, Ethiopia. Imagine a power that once rivaled Rome, yet vanished into history. Welcome to the kingdom of Axum, the cultural entity that once ruled the Horn of Africa and beyond. Around AD 100, as the Roman Empire reached its zenith, Axum emerged as an independent power. It was not merely a kingdom, but a bustling trade hub connecting Africa, Arabia, and the Mediterranean. Fleets laden with gold, ivory, and precious frankincense set sail from Axum's port, bringing wealth and ideas from distant lands. Axum was no ordinary kingdom. It served as a vibrant cultural central nexus, linking Africa with Arabia and the Mediterranean. Ships laden with gold, ivory, and precious frankincense set sail from Axum's harbor, bringing wealth and ideas to distant lands. This was no local power. Axum operated on the global stage. Yet what truly set it apart were its ominous, inspiring monuments. Imagine colossal stone pillars piercing the sky, some towering over 100 feet high. These were no ordinary boulders, but masterpieces of engineering and artistry. The Axum obelisk served not merely as tombstones, but as declarations of power. The Axum king's way of proclaiming, "Behold what we can achieve." By the 4th century AD, Axum underwent a pivotal shift. King E's adoption of Christianity made Axum one of the free cradles of the world's great religions. More than mere tombstones, they were declarations of power. Axumite kings proclaiming, "Behold what we can achieve." By the 4th century AD, Axum underwent a pivotal transformation. King E's embraced Christianity, making Axum among the world's first nations to formally adopt the faith. This was not merely a personal choice but a profound shift that altered Ethiopia's historical trajectory. The Aksumite script, Ge'ez, became the language of the church and remains in use today in Ethiopian Orthodox liturgical ceremonies. Yet Aksum's achievements extended far beyond religion and monumental engineering. These people were also pioneers in the economic sphere. They pioneered coinage, a practice virtually unheard of in sub-Saharan Africa. This marked not merely the birth of exquisite metal discs, but heralded a sophisticated economic system and efficient state governance. Aksum flourished for centuries. Yet like all empires, it eventually faced challenges. Climate change made cultivation increasingly difficult. Shifting trade routes led to the loss of its ports, and persistent conflicts with neighboring states eroded its strength. The decline of Aksum began in AD 940. By AD 940, the once mighty empire had faded into history. Yet crucially, Aksum's story did not end. Its legacy endured. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, born during the Aksumite era, remains a cornerstone of Ethiopian culture. The ancient Ethiopian script persists, safeguarding timeless knowledge. Those towering obelisks still stand, silent witnesses to Aksum's former glory. Meanwhile, the Sogdians, internationalists along the Silk Road, wove a transcontinental trade network spanning two continents, from China's bustling cities to Persian markets under the scorching sun. As masters of the Silk Road and true global citizens of their age, the Sogdians played a pivotal role in the convergence of Eastern and Western cultures for nearly 500 years c. 500 BC to 1000 CE. For nearly 15 centuries, roughly 500 BCE to 1000 CE, they became the pivotal force binding East and West, weaving an invisible thread that stitched together the ancient world's first truly global network. Picture such a caravan laden with precious silk, exotic spices, and glittering gold. It slowly traverses the desolate expanses of Central Asia. At the heart of these caravans, one would invariably encounter Sogdian merchants fluent in multiple languages, masters of navigating the Silk Road's intricate cultural network. These Iranian peoples were not merely intermediaries but cultural chameleons, thriving and adapting across diverse environments from China to the Mediterranean. Our homeland lay within present-day Uzbekistan and Tajikistan, where cities like Samarkand and Panj, Kent once served as thriving trade and cultural hubs. Yet our true wisdom lay in our capacity to forge communities. Across borders we established trading colonies in China, served as diplomatic interpreters, and even fought as soldiers. This pervasive presence enabled us not only to facilitate the flow of goods, but to propel ideas, technologies, and beliefs across vast distances. Most captivating was the Sogdians' religious inclusivity. In an era where faith often defined identity, they demonstrated extraordinary openness, practicing the ancient Iranian religion of Zoroastrians while embracing Buddhism, Manihimsas, and later Islam. This religious adaptability aptly mirrored their commercial acumen. The Sogdians understood that rigid dogma would impede international trade. Sogdian emerged as the lingua franca of the Silk Road. Its unique script derived from Aramaic, achieving widespread dissemination. Merchants recorded transactions in it. Diplomats drafted treaties, and rulers issued decrees. The Sogdian languages reach attests to their influence. Fragments of Sogdian documents are found everywhere from the Black Sea coast to the heart of China. Their art and architecture reveal a magnificent fusion of diverse styles, reflecting their international character. Sogdian murals blended Persian, Indian, and Chinese elements into a visual language that underscored their role as cultural intermediaries. This mastery of synthesizing diverse elements was not merely an aesthetic achievement, but the very key to their success in bridging disparate cultures. Yet like all great empires and networks, the Sogdian Iron trade system eventually declined. The rise of the Islamic Caliphate in the 7th century reshaped Central Asia's political and economic landscape, while the Mongol invasions of the 13th century devastated numerous Sogdian cities, severing the trade routes they had long controlled. The once mighty Sogdian merchant network gradually waned, its status as a pivotal global player steadily diminishing. Should you have enjoyed this journey through time, we invite you to subscribe for more such videos. Which lost civilization holds the greatest fascination for you? We welcome your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, as we continue to explore the stories that shaped our world.